talk a little bit about what those expectations might look like or some of the questions you might have leading in to the state championship. Some of you have asked, can I set up my props before my team goes for the game day category? Yes, we want you to go ahead and be set up. As soon as that team in front of you leaves the floor, you can go ahead and start setting up those props. This weekend, we have multiple panels running at the same time. So the group that might be judging you will not be judging the team in front of you or possibly behind you. So you're gonna have plenty of time to go ahead and set up those props before your routine even starts. But respectively, as soon as your routine is done and you're celebrating on the floor because you just hit everything you needed, do that. We want you to enjoy that. And then quickly exit the mat so that the next team coming up is able to set up their props. Now remember, in the game day category, whether you are in building or non-building, the max routine time is 3 minutes. Please be sure that you run that routine multiple times before you take the floor, because I know for us coaches, you get a little anxious or we're a little worried about pushing play or not pushing play, or did we give them enough time for their authentic spirit? Make sure that you time that routine so that you are not going over. We do give you a 3-second grace period to go over time. However, unfortunately, we will have to assess deductions after that follows the 3-second grace period. Your time will not begin until the first organized cheer or music section happens in your game day routine. Now, we've had a few here in the past that come out and get really energetic and giving us tons of spirit before the music starts. Remember, you are only going to have a certain amount of time before the next team's going to want to come out, so give us all of that genuine, authentic spirit. However, make sure that we're not taking up too much time before it gets started, your routine gets started. So again, a 3-minute max with a 3-second grace period before any of those deductions would be assessed, and we will not start the timer until the first organized music or cheer section has begun. Now, the National Fed safety judges will be on the floor and up in bird's eye. All of the National Fed rules and regulations still apply. So if you are in a building category and you're standing on a prop, a sign, or a pom-pom while you're putting up that prep or extension, unfortunately, that's going to be a deduction to National Fed rules. You cannot stand on those props. If you do not have a National Federation book, I highly recommend trying to get one in your hands before you go into states. In the game day category, we will not be giving a situational cheer. We want you to set up your routine without any stress of what we will call or not call going into what they now in the industry say a situational cheer. We're not calling any situational cheers. You are going to do your routine to the very best of your ability from the very beginning to the very end without any of that extra stress. So you pick how you want those cheers and chants to go. We do not have an out of bounds. There is no out of bounds for the OESSA in any category. So if you have an athlete that steps off the floor with their flag or a megaphone, any type of a prop, you will not receive any out of bounds because they just don't exist. Now, deductions, since we are on that topic, any deduction that you might receive during the state championship will be emailed to the email address we have on file that you use to register your team for the state championship. If you need to double check that information before you get to states, please make sure to do so with Kelly Latham in the office. If you do not receive any deductions in the routine, are you still gonna get an email? Yes, you will still get an email that says no deductions, and then go and celebrate with your team of whatever maybe that little extra dance or high fives or whatever you do as a tradition when you have 0 deductions in a routine. Please travel safe. If you have any questions, reach out. We will see you soon.